He did not. For nada.
Enki. Well, he's making up for it.
Yeah, Enki and Adrich are casting in Spanish, so if you want to tune into that, they are covering this series. Of course, they're following their boy Juanito as we get into round number 3.
That we will, and forgive me if I'm mistaken, like, because it's been so long since we've done an ESL Asia, but I believe these 2 players are already safe for a payout, being in the top 8.
Ah, true.
Yeah, we have it, but we'll see who makes it to the semifinals as we kick off the series on Lightshade LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have a red Protoss player coming out for the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Team NV. He is Creator.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Mexican Terran. He is blue, representing Storm Gaming. It is SpeCial.
It's always nice seeing the Team NV boys coming into ESL Open Cup Asia. I feel like Creator and Percival especially are the ones who you can always count on being on one of these brackets. SOS and Bunny every now and then. I'm still waiting for the day Maru signs up.
One day maybe? Question mark.
I just realized I don't think Innovation has ever played in an ESL Open Cup, and now he's retired.
Yeah, I think I think early on he did. Maybe I'm making. I don't know. I can't remember.
I think that was like once when the whole of Kaisi was like, we need everybody to sign up. We need Innovation and Solar and Time. All of you in this bracket.
Yeah, but feels bad, man. He is no longer with us. Meanwhile, SpeCial, once again on Lightshade, is spicing things up here with a cheeky proxy factory.
You know what? I like it.
Hey, you know what's happening, right?
A lot. Yep. Directly into the. Hey.
We'll see.
Like Proxy Marauder, but. Without Marauders.
So there are options here. There are definitely options. I'm really curious to see what SpeCial does, because White Adra, another Mexican Terran, he loves going for a landed factory into the main and waddling Widowmines in, and he spices things up even more with an armory to make it even more difficult. But this is gonna get scouted.
The splatter!
Wow.
SpeCial is up a creek without a paddle. He is so behind now.
I can't land!
Out of his factory ending. Yeah! Oh! Finally, he at least is able to land and get a Hellion out for some scouting, for some map control.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's got to do something with this factory, right? But it's such a shame that at the end of the day, it wasn't able to achieve anything. I this a medevac on the way now, but
not a Hellion could even do much with the Adept here.
Yeah, exactly. It does escape, right, as you said, but there is a Stalker, there's an Adept with the natural. Maybe best case scenario, SpeCial can get into the main and scout. But oh, never mind.
Opts not to take the risk as he builds up that Hellion count.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting ready for a follow-up. Medevac's on the way. I imagine he wants to drop into the main base. I imagine he wants to still try and deal some damage with these Hellions. It's a nice way to transition out of a failed, proxy like that. Will it work, though? That's the question.
That we're going to have to ask, as Creator is getting his Blink up and running. Using a couple more Stalkers, it's going to be much easier to handle drops, but see if that ends up happening regardless. Ooh, I'm liking this from SpeCial. We saw this a lot, Light, in DreamHack EU, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was Hero Marine, I want to say, who went in through the main with his Marines, and then he had a drop going in with the Hellions in the main base.
Yeah, it's not just a drop, mate. We even have SpeCial building in the face of his opponent. The Marines are going into the natural base. They're not going to find too much damage here. The army can meet it. Doesn't get too many probes either as all the Marines fall, but the Hellions were dropped into the main.
And indeed, those Marines were not looking for damage. They were looking to just distract the army for as long as possible. The Widow might even... Oh, I wanted it to burrow.
That was such an aggressive move by SpeCial, and it didn't pay off, mate. He got 6 probes, right? That's something, right? He's ahead in workers.
Yeah.
But
yeah, at the very least, he was able to narrow the gap a little, and with mules, you can even say that he has the advantage when it comes to minerals at the very least, but Creator has already recovered. He's already overtaken SpeCial again.
Yeah.
He's basically been completely untouched with his tech.
Exactly. Like, SpeCial at home is trying to, you know, get his army up and running. We have Stim on the way, finally, to help out his army. But, like, especially based off of how aggressive he's been, I would be surprised if SpeCial throws down a 3rd CC. At this point, like, I don't know if, like, he wants to try and macro out of this.
I mean, there may be an opportunity, but the Creator just finished up that 3rd base. He does need to get some damage done, and he's looking to do so with a +1 timing without any factory. Okay, he's starting to produce mines now, so that's something at least.
It's still across the map. Like, it's so, like, what are you gonna do? Float this all the way back home? Like, that's just not gonna happen. Oh, he's switching his mind a little bit here, but regardless, he does want to hit that timing, as you were saying. Like, +1 is on the way, but it's so far away. Like, it basically just started, so he has to wait a little bit longer to move out, and this is giving more time for Creator, because here is that gateway explosion. 5 gateways will finish in time for this push.
5 gateways, charge. He's gonna get his +1 before SpeCial will. Ay. And when it's pure bio like this, I guess there's something that SpeCial can pull off here if he's really careful with utilizing choke points and whatnot. Swarm toss is definitely hard to pull off against a pure bio army like this.
It can be. It definitely can be. I mean, this army is moving out, and it was spotted by Creator, by the way. Like, he sees everything with this observer. It's headed towards the 3rd base. At the same time, Hellion drop doesn't get into the mineral line. The SimCity does protect it, so it is forced away. Is there an army here? Oh, yeah, there is an army. Oh, yeah.
There is. I'm definitely liking SpeCial's army a lot more. There is a shield battery, but it's looking very exposed. The SpeCial can target it down. Like so! Oh, but the force field's doing such a good job of preventing that from happening. 1 target fire, though. All SpeCial really needed, but has Creator bought himself enough time? He's chasing the army back. That's a lot of casualties on the side of SpeCial. +1 only now finishing as he's forced to retreat.
Yeah, he's forced to retreat. Like, this army is far too large for him to deal with. There was a moment there where maybe he could force an engagement and make something happen, but he was swatted away. And yeah, now Creator, he's just attacking up even further. I thought he was gonna maybe go for a counterattack, but instead he's gonna get into Colossus production.
He's just got so much options on his hands now, yeah. Colossus production, definitely ideal if you wanted to. He could go for disruptors, but why would he need to? It's, again, pure bio with 1 mine.
Exactly. And this could deal devastating damage. War Prism is going to get into the main base. The army is, oh god, he has to try and drop himself to race against those zealots. He will get here in time.
He's aware of that, by the way. He doesn't even, siege up his War Prism. He backs away, tries to evacuate as many zealots as possible. Just like that, 3 SCVs, not a whole lot, but he hasn't lost a whole lot either. This drop, though, is definitely distracting Creator. If nothing else. 7 probes, there we go.
There we go.
SpeCial need to do.
Exactly, 7 probes go down. Thankfully, like, again, SpeCial was able to try and even off that worker count as best he can. These are moves that he needs to make, by the way. If he doesn't, then he's just going to get even further and further behind.
He absolutely will. Having those mules, he is taking a bit of a mineral advantage, which he's translating into marines and whatnot. Thermal Lance isn't done quite yet, and SpeCial, I'm honestly still really liking his army. I do wish that he had some mines or tanks out. This is a bit of an anchor point, but this is a very scary bio force.
At least get like an add-on on the proxy factory, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh god. Meanwhile, a bit of a zealot run by does distract SpeCial. His army still hasn't done much, but again, like, Creator sees everything. He just has eyes everywhere. He's in position.
Yes, active as SpeCial wants to be on the map. Creator is even more active. Oh, you do not want to go up that ramp against Bio Creator.
and in the end, he does not. Again, just continuing to just rally Zealots across the map, and he's getting like a couple of SCV kills here and there, and it slowly adds up. Like, SpeCial can't afford these losses.
He really cannot. I think he's actually warping them in from a certain base location and just
yeah, he is. Yeah,
letting them run. Nice.
Oh god. But and here we go, more Zealots do show up here as well, just distracting SpeCial. But mate, the ghosts are coming out. Enhanced shockwaves is almost done. Like, you were praising SpeCial's army earlier, and I agree. Like, this is still quite terrifying.
Yeah, you can absolutely blanket that army in EMPs and really cut down the health in half. Pulling the boys though, that is how you know SpeCial has had enough. Purification Nova doesn't get much done, and it definitely feels like Creative pulled his shot a little too early. Sentries are out of energy. Battery overcharges popped, but the battery will be taken out. A couple more disruptors here, looking to get some zoning potential at the very least done.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the fourth base will go down, but mate, it's the fourth. SpeCial Story Creator can afford to lose that. The disruptor shots are going off.
Doesn't get too much done here. SCV's wearing such a good buffer. Oh, that was a juicy Purification Nova though. As SpeCial back into a corner, no more room to split. Novas, they are starting to add up, but the bio is continuing to be stemmed. It's mostly just Stalkers here, but the reinforcing Zealots and the Colossus in the back line is stalling SpeCial by so much. He's lost 16 SCVs there.
Yeah, exactly.
He did in the game.
Like, he was all in. At the same time, there was a Zealot run by, forced the third base to be lifted up, so now he's on 2-base economy at this point. Meanwhile, even Probe survived. A couple of them do get picked off, but again, this army is still terrifying. It all came down to those Purification Novas. Like, they were so juicy towards the end there.
Absolutely. Sometimes one is all you need, and one is all Creator had. At least towards the beginning of that fight. Afterwards, it was kind of a knock-on effect. Yeah,
it really was. It's one of those things where one is all you need, and Creator had 4. It's like, oh god.
You get 1, you get 7.
And just like that, Creator, he's ahead in economy, he's ahead in army. Like, SpeCial is trying to get his third base back up and running. He's a madman. Look at that, just 2 Nexuses. Jesus.
I love it that Creator and SOS are just always in the same team because they balance one another out.
Oh god, yeah, one is the more standard, arguably like defensive Protoss, the other is the crazy one being so aggressive. And meanwhile, speaking of, we have some DTs now across the map. There's no detection here.
I love this move from Creator. Now, it's probably coincidental, but SpeCial, he has no economy up and running. He has to utilize his mules. He's not going to have too many scans, and he wants to prioritize his army as well. Not going to be able to get too many missile turrets up, even whiffing the EMP there towards the end with some very well-timed shadow strikes to the side of Creator. GG, he takes game number 1. That was... I don't know what that was. That was a bit of a mess, but also glorious at the same time from both players.
It was a slug fight. I say slug fight. It was a knife fight, mate. Like, because of how aggressive SpeCial was in the beginning, he was incredibly aggressive, mate. He went for that. He went for the drop and factory landing in the main base of Creator. Like, think about that for a moment. Like, that's crazy. Like,
that's how the game started.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, but like, again, because of the hyper aggression from SpeCial, when it didn't pay off, like, he was put in a really rough place. And Creator, he is the caliber of player where if you're behind, like, it's so difficult to catch back up again.
Indeed. He will find the smallest mistake that you make and just capitalize on it as the best he can.
Yeah, exactly. Or he himself won't make any mistakes, you know? It's like... Oh boy.
Play as clean as possible, because now that I think about it, that was a very safe game from the side of Creator. He never tried to... He never went for the counterattacks, even when SpeCial's aggression flopped on their faces. He just tried to play as safe as possible, anticipated that SpeCial would be aggressive, and did a little bit of harass here and there on his own. Really forced the all-in. But regardless, that was game number 1. On Lightshade, this is game number 2. On Romanticide LE, a map which hopefully will be out of the map pool by the time the next ladder season happens. There have been plenty of talks about it. Here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player coming out for the land of South Korea. He is going to be representing Team NV. He is Creator.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, and also going for a fake proxy, we have the Mexican Terran. He is blue, representing Team Storm Gaming. It is SpeCial.
Well, SpeCial do special things, you know. He does like getting that bit of an early lead in TVP as much as possible.
Yeah, and I like it because he's just working off of what happened in game one. As we can see, Creator is a little bit paranoid. He's scouting very diligently.
For good reason.
Yeah, because he was proxied in game one. He believes that he is the better player in a more standard game. And when this probe eventually gets across the map and sees that there is no racks, like, he may overreact.
He absolutely may, but Creator is looking to go for the full scout in the main base.
Yeah, that he is, and he will eventually find this factory as he confirms that there's no CC on the low ground. Actually doesn't go into the main. Oh my god.
Yeah, all he cares about is natural right now. No natural, he knows something is up. He is even trying to scout for fake proxies, but okay, now starting to doubt himself a little bit, going straight to the main base. SpeCial opting for a double Reaper this time. Now finally Creator will see the factory.
Yeah, exactly. He will know that the racks is somewhere out on the map, but it's not a dedicated proxy, right? So it could still be at home somewhere. The Reaper comes across the map, so now he knows it's not like a proxy marauder or anything like that.
Yeah, Creator's got to be scratching his head a little bit right now.
He's like, okay, I guess I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I have nothing to worry about, but I mean, do I? Still gonna be as annoying as possible with his probe.
Yeah, eventually it will be cleaned up. The Reaper returns all the way back home, and Creator gets away with his expansion. Ooh, and SpeCial, it looks like he wants to get ready for some Widow Mine drops.
I like it, especially on Romanticide. We've seen it a lot, particularly from Azure in this past season in DreamHack, where on Romanticide in particular, never move across the map with an army, you know? Don't even build up much of an army. Just Widow Mine drop your opponents into submission.
And it can work. It's disgusting, but it definitely can work. Meanwhile, ooh, the Reaper's getting to the main base. The Hellion was doing a really good job distracting the main army.
And just like that, the Reapers are able to pick off a cool 3, couple of probes, even gets a really good scout here, knows that Creator is doing standard Protoss things, and by standard I mean one of the 2 options. He's going for a Twilight Council instead of Stargate.
Exactly, and at least SpeCial can rest a little bit easy. He knows what he's up against, and oh my god, what is happening? He's going for a fusion core.
Let's go, Liberator range! No.
But like, it's one of those things where I would almost accept Liberator range over BCs in a TVP. A BC opening?
Yeah, my brain doesn't even want to accept it. I'm like, okay, so it's got to be like Corvette Reactor maybe this early on, because who gets BCs in the opening of a TVP?
Yeah, we emphasize opening anyway, because we have seen like BCs like in late game TVP, I guess. But like, again, as an opener,
Really good for dealing with Tempest and whatnot.
I think this is the first time I've seen this as an opener, not gonna lie.
In TVP at least, yeah, we see this a lot more in TVZ, and even then it's fallen out of favor. It's a fringe build that Terran players sometimes pull out in a TVZ just to keep their opponents on their toes.
Yeah,
they never do it in TVP.
Exactly. Well, I mean, maybe now they do. I mean, SpeCial.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's a bit of a
This.
trailblazer.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things where he's gonna show us why it's amazing and why he's doing it, or he's gonna show us why no one does it.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, you know, SpeCial is generally a player who doesn't do a build unless he's absolutely certain it will work. In other words, unless TY doesn't, and it works.
Exactly. And again, it's one of those things where SpeCial, he's doing something crazy because he's up against Creator. Like, yo, you got to do something crazy sometimes if you want to sneak out a cheeky win. Meanwhile, Creator, he's gonna get in with his observer. He doesn't see anything. The BC, it's here.
Oh my lord, I think he's actually going to be able to get away with this. Blink is done, but there's not a lot of gateways, not a lot of stalkers either. He's trying to pick it off. The stalkers definitely putting in a lot of hurt, and you know, even without Blink, Creator is able to kite away, but yeah, this just kind of forces the army back home, doesn't it?
It does, and that opens things up for SpeCial, right? All the stalkers are busy here at home defending against the threat of the BC. Meanwhile, this third base, it's exposed. There's nothing here. Okay, now Creator is repositioning his army.
Somewhat damage will be dealt here by this side of SpeCial regardless, but how much is going to be the question. Trying to catch his army as it's unsieged, but he gets met with the bio. Last thing you want to fight with pure stalkers.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, that BC, ooh, it looks like it will go down to the stalkers. And now, Creator, he only has to focus on this push.
There he has some friendly fire up with those shaded dabs, but will he get it? No. SpeCial repositions his own army, but the Warping of Zealots is going to be enough to act as a buffer, trying to pick off that medevac, and he will, but the tank's still up and running. One bunker will finish up.
Yeah, exactly. But there's only 3 Marines. What's that really going to do? The Immortal shows up as well, and Creator will shut down this push.
He's bought himself enough time here. That was absolutely clean. Completely wiping out that army. But another BC is up and running, funnily enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was on a bit of an A move, so it wasted a bunch of DPS on the shield battery. Like, these BCs haven't really been getting any worker kills. And what's crazy to me, I guess it makes sense, SpeCial is committed. He's getting Yamato. He's not stopping BC production.
Might as well, I suppose. I mean, BCs are the best harassment tool for Terran. Funnily enough, he could try to snipe some key tech with the Yamato. He's going mech?
He's going mech. Oh,
BC mech?
So this isn't the first time we've seen SpeCial go mech against Protoss. Like, again, him and TY, they have done this time and time again. Maybe a third of the time, you know, it's not like they do this all the time. With mixed success. Very mixed. Oh.
Yeah, TY has been able to pull it off quite a number of times, but I feel like that was usually more because his opponents were tunnel visioning, right? They were getting too stubborn. They were focusing a lot on their gateway tech, which isn't what you want when you're up against siege mech like this. And to be fair, Creator has played out the series so far as much more of a swarm toss kind of player, very focused on his gateway units, only a couple of Robo Bay units. In fact, he's a bit of backbone, but he's flexible enough now that he's getting the Templar Archives, he's going to be getting the Archons. Absolute bane of a mech Terran player.
Yeah, exactly. And what I will say is that I don't think Creator knows what's happening yet. He sees tanks, he sees Marines, he hasn't seen the production, the additional factories, so maybe he's still a little bit in the dark. But what I will say is that the goal of these VCs are to keep Creator at home, right? But Creator, he's not at home. He's moving out, and this is when SpeCial is maybe at his most vulnerable. He does have a lot of tanks, though. They're not all sieged.
That they aren't just yet. Now they are.
Ooh.
There we go.
There we go. They're all sieged up. Pushing in here with charge lots, it's going to be so difficult to pull off. But it's just Creator, he's going to try.
He will, but he is, and honestly, there's not much of a buffer for his tanks, to be fair. Really needs to make sure the Zealots are able to get on top of them, though. Marines start to get taken out. So much friendly fire going on. Not too many BCs, so the Yamato not really doing too much. And the tanks absolutely shredded. The Zealots are finally dealt with, but have already done their job.
Yeah, exactly. Only 2 tanks remaining. Sure, oh my god, 26 SCVs went down in that.
I didn't even notice that. Just a blink of an eye. The Archons were able to get the splash damage in. The Stalkers were able to clean up. You can't exactly go mech when you're behind on workers, can you?
Yeah, exactly. Like, Creator didn't kill his opponent, but he crippled the economy and he reset the tank count. Again, that's the most important thing. Meanwhile, the BCs, they teleport across the map. They have to do something. They get 2 probes, depower the forge, which is great, but oh my god, the BCs, can they survive? It looks like just barely they will.
that dead air really working to his favor. I'm a little bit surprised. Okay, 2 Stargates are on the way.
Yeah,
Creator
yeah.
finally realizing, oh, you are actually committed to this for whatever reason. Let's get a couple of Void Rays and put an end to that, buddy.
Yeah, I'll just get Void Rays, I'll get Immortals, I'll get Charge Lots. Like, we saw how well the Charge Lots did, by the way. Like, again, like, Creator, he lost minerals for that, whereas SpeCial was losing so much gas when it came to his units.
He lost gas, he lost minerals, he lost units. Eventually he's gonna lose his will to keep this game going.
We'll see. As oh no, the second BC will fall. The third will also fall, as it does not have a teleport. They all get shut down. 2 more BCs are trying to dip into the main base. Oh, this time they're exposed. This time probes are falling.
Yeah, but only 4 of them. Creator still with a very healthy lead. Oh. Not anymore, as the Hellions come in and completely barbecue themselves. A nice little mineral line. Not a massive lead, though. SpeCial. But with Mules, I mean, you know, might as well be a massive lead.
Yeah, yeah. Again, like, SpeCial, he's getting work done, right? This is something that, you know, he's been struggling to get some probe kills, and finally it's coming his way. And his army has slowly been getting stronger and stronger with all of these tanks. Oh my god. I just worry because he lacks an anti-air. He's relying on BCs, but we just saw 2 BCs die. Like, he doesn't have that many, and Creator is committing to the Sky Toss with a fleet beacon on the way.
Yeah, he's definitely going to transition out of this, focusing a lot more on the Void Race for now, but Tempest production is already on the way. I will say that there is an opening for SpeCial if he can find it. If he can find a couple of minutes just to siege up his tanks. The Chargers shouldn't be able to get too much done now that Blue Flame is finished up, and he's got plenty of Hellions he can turn to Hellbats.
He does. It's just the Tempest that scare me. Like, he just doesn't have an answer to it. He needs more anti-air. He's working on Cyclones, I guess, which are okay. BCs are okay as well, but bearing in mind that Tempest do bonus damage to massive units, to BCs specifically, if I'm not wrong.
They do. Yeah. And they do bonus damage to massive units. Void Rays do bonus damage to units, which BCs also are.
Like,
anti-BC air army you can get.
It's just one of those things. We see scans. SpeCial still misses the fleet beacon and the Stargates, by the way.
I think he saw a Tempest at least.
Maybe.
Potentially.
I hope so.
Who knows?
Oh, now he knows. Oh my god.
See if he decides to commit to the BCs. I do like this. He's getting a lot. He's getting his Magfield Accelerator, getting a lot more Cyclones out, because you can still make BCs work in TVP, especially against Tempest, but you have to deal with the rest of the army first before setting up BCs in.
Yeah, and again, like, SpeCial, because he was able to confirm the Tempest, immediately he switches into Magfield. Thor production begins as well. Like, he knows that he's lacking in anti-air, and he's looking to make up for it. Meanwhile, he needs to free up some supply because he's maxed out. He needs those Thors, so he's about to throw away a bunch of his tanks and Hellions. But will he be able to trade well?
That is going to be a question. Hopefully he doesn't throw away too many of them. Only a couple of Cyclones here. Tempest, I mean, they do a lot of damage, but they don't do it very quickly.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little bit surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised the Tempest weren't being a little bit more aggressive here, because there's literally only 2 Cyclones. Like, that is it with the anti-air. But Creator, he's looking to try and sandwich the army.
He will be able to, actually. The Immortals helping out a ton against these tanks, and just like that, tank counters are set once again. And while SpeCial is trying to clear up supply so he can get some Thors and some Cyclones out, losing every single one of your tanks like that, debatable.
Yeah, it's one of those things. He wanted to clear up supply. Did he want to clear up that much supply though? Like, because I agree, like, he needed to throw away some tanks, but not every tank, because now there's literally 0 tanks left.
It's like, you want to cut your hair, but do you really want to be bald?
Exactly. As the Blink Stalkers are going on forward. Nice Yamatos on the Tempest, but what about the ground army? Again, there's no tanks.
Beautiful concave here on top of every single Thor. Thors are still trying to stand strong for as long as possible. Immediate teleport into the main base here from those BCs. But it's only 2 of them, and they have such low health. 1 Tempest. Okay, maybe 2 Tempests, accounting for Yamato. So Creator will really need to clear that up. It's going to be tough moving up this ramp, especially with all of the SCVs, but he's going to try anyway.
Yeah, that he is, and regardless, like, even if he just gets SCV kills, that's good enough for Creator, as he's breaking through. Only Thors are remaining. We see the blink forward. Thors, they do well against Tempest, but not so much against Immortals and Stalkers, as the Thors are all going to be cleaned up. Finally, the tanks are coming out for SpeCial, but it's a little bit too late.
No anti-air again. Yeah.
No!
Creator doesn't even care about the 2 BCs that just prevented a base from coming up. GG's call. Creator is going to be your first semifinalist of the day. Very well played here from Creator. Very reactive style that he's shown us.
Exactly, and what I will say is that because of his like proactive ness of going into those Tempests, SpeCial had to react, and he did, but maybe a little bit too hard, right? Like,
yeah. An overreaction.
Yeah. He's like, yo, the tanks don't shoot up. Let's get rid of them. It's like, well, I mean, it's not mass Tempest though. Like, it's not nothing, but this is a mono battles, right? Like,
it's 2 Stargates, yeah. Maybe ain't too much in there.
Yeah, just a bit. And with that, as you said, congratulations to Creator. He is the first player to make it to the semifinals, and now we have to look for another series to jump into.